Hello everyone, welcome back to another video of Rising Biomedical. Today we'll learn about matrix and vector indexing. Let's look at this row vector. Now if I have to assess this the third element of vector A, I'll simply write A bracket, small brackets, 3, and it will give me the third element. And if I have to assess the last element, I'll simply write what column it is. That is fifth column. I'll simply write A bracket 5 and it will give me 9. Now I can also add these these position elements to each other by simply writing A bracket 3 plus A bracket 5 to each other. Furthermore, I can also change the values of these elements. For example, if I want the third element, which is 4, to be 66 instead of 4, I'll simply write A bracket 3 is equal to 64. And now look at this. The matrix is changed. Now it is 2, 3, 64, 56, 9 instead of 2, 3, 4, 56, and 9. Now let's look about the matrix indexing. I have a 3 into 3 matrix. This is the 3 into 3 matrix. Wait a second. Now if I have to locate a certain element, I have to put the position of row and column. So if I have to locate the 7, I'll simply write the row and the column. That is, it is the second row and the third column. 2, 3. See, that's 7. If I have to locate this 9, it is third row and second column. First we'll write the row and then we'll write the column. Sorry. That's 9. Again, we can add these elements to each other. That is simply by A2, 3 plus A 3, 2. We can subtract them, multiply, or whatever we want to do with them. We can also again change these elements simply by writing, for example, if I have to change 7 to 69 and 7 to 69. So I'll simply write what row it is, second row, third column. So I'll write second row, third column is equal to 69. Now let's look at our matrix. It's changed. Our element has changed from 7 to 69. We actually learned how to assess a single element previously. Now we'll learn how to assess a certain range of elements, all of the elements in a single row or certain elements in a single row. So for example, in this 3 cross 3 matrix, if I have to assess to the third column, all the rows of the third column, I'm going to write simply A bracket colon. Colon is basically when it is used in this format, it is referring to all the elements. Colon, comma, colon, comma, third column, and now look, 4690. That means A, all the rows of column 3. Now if I have to refer to all the columns of the row second, I'll simply write A 2, comma, colon. When I have to refer to certain elements in these two, in the second and third column, or second or third, or all the columns, I can also assess them. For example, if I have to assess the second and third row, I'll simply go and write 2 column 3, comma, and then colon. And now let's see. It's giving me all the two rows. Let's try something a little bit difficult and a complex array. For example, for a 5 cross 5 matrix. I need to assess the second row, from second row to the last row, all the elements from second to last row. So I'm going to simply write, wait a second. So I'm going to simply write, as I've saved this answer into A, second row, that is 2, ratio, colon, fifth, comma, colon for all the columns, and close. See, it's giving me 23, 5, 7, 14, 16 to 11, 8, 25, 2. Now, if I have to assess the 3 columns and the last 3 rows, so I'm going to simply write these last 3 rows till their third column. So I'm going to simply write A 3, comma 5, that is basically third row, fourth row, and fifth row. And first column, second column, and the third column. So from 1, column 3, bracket close. Now let's see. We can assess them. Change these values, all of the values together. For example, if I have to change all of these elements to zeros or to ones, I can simply write A third, comma fifth row, and all the columns is equal to, if I need zeros in them, exchanging the elements we already have, I'm going to simply write zeros, and then I'm going to write, we have 3 rows and 5 columns, simply write this. Now look at this. All of these elements were replaced by that. Now if I want them to be ones, I can actually go and write ones. Or if you want to change them manually, you can actually go and write the matrix, but it's going to be taking long time. We know that we need to make 3 rows and 5 columns. We're going to simply write a matrix of 3 cross 5. Now let's look at this. Oh, sorry, I actually forgot to put semicolons. Actually, I'm supposed to put semicolons over here. Now let's look at this. See, they're changed. So we can actually manually change, or we can actually use a built-in command to change the values. So if we have to summarize, we know how to assess the single element of a vector or row, a certain range of elements, we know how to add those elements, and we also learn how to change those elements to certain different values. And this would be the end of our array indexing tutorial. See you next time.